In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace your engine cooling fan on your Subaru Forester. It's located on the front of the engine, in front of your radiator. Take your negative battery terminal off. Use a 10mm wrench. I am going to take out these plastic fasteners first to disconnect the grill. For these, you gotta get your trim tool in there and pop that up, and then it'll come out. Next, you're going to take these out on the corners. All right, now you got to remove these. So remove these clips also. All right, so once you remove these, and slide that out. Now you're going to use a 10mm socket. And remove this cover. Once you remove that bolt, you can pull that out. So in order to get this coolant reservoir out, you're going to pinch this bracket in and use something to pry this away. You're going to disconnect your hose and then pick this up. All right, we're going to use a 12mm. We are going to remove these 4 main bolts. Now we are going to remove all right, and then you're going to go to the other side and do the same. All right, so now there's one more on this side and same on the other side. Once you get this out, make sure you have a hand on it because it will come down. All right, so now we're going to drain our coolant out of the radiator by removing our petcock. So you're just going to use a Phillips screwdriver. And unscrew this. Just be ready to catch the coolant with a drain bucket. All right, so now we're going to put our petcock back in now that we've drained the radiator. All right, so now we're going to take off our hose. I'm going to crack loose the hose first, remove it. And just put that over there out of the way. So now we're going to take our bolts off with a 10mm socket. You're going to use a 10mm socket to remove our bolts attaching the fan to the radiator. Typically they would come out easily. Our vehicle is very rusty. We're going to have to replace the bolts and nuts. All right, so now we're going to disconnect our connector from the fan. I'm going to use a little screwdriver, push in that button. All right, put that off to the side. Now you can pick up your fan. And pull it out. So now we're going to put our fan in. I'm going to slide it down gently. There are two little spots that it sits into. So you're going to want to find those, push it down. Now we're ready to bolt our fan onto the radiator. Okay, so now we're going to tighten it up. Just until it's snug. I used a 10mm socket. All right, so now we are going to put our connector in. Now we're going to replace our upper radiator hose. All right, so now we are going to put our cover on, serpentine belt cover. We use a 10mm socket, snug it up. So we're going to put our intake in. All right, we got one in, two in. That's in. Now we're going to put our grill back together. With our plastic fasteners. So remember to put these in the right spot. These are the only ones that look a little different. All right, so now we're going to put our cover on. I'm going to start by putting in my bolts. So there's 4 main bolts. There's another one over here, but it's broken. So we're going to use a wire tie. All right, we're going to use a 12mm socket to tighten up these 4 bolts. 3 bolts. Used to be 4. So now we're going to put our grommets back in. And the last one's right here. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. So now we're going to install our reservoir. There's a bracket down here where this goes into. So you're going to rest it in there. And for this, there's no bolts. It just slides in once it's in the bracket down there. It slides in this way. And then push it in. This hooks up here. Okay, so now we're going to fill up our coolant system with the manufacturer's recommended specification. And take your cap off. You can use a funnel or you can use a fancy funnel. So now you're going to fill it up. So you want to fill this up till it doesn't go down anymore. Then at that point, you're going to start the vehicle. You're going to let it run till it gets up to temperature. You're going to put on your heat and wait for the thermostat to open. You'll know that happens when the antifreeze gets sucked down, and then you're going to top it off. So now we've run the vehicle, we've topped it off. I'm going to take out the excess coolant, and I'm going to fill up our reservoir. We're going to fill that to the max line. All right, so now we can take this off. Put our cap on. So now you can go take your vehicle for a test drive. Make sure the temperature gauge stays where it belongs. Take a deep breath, because this job is done. Now we are going to place our negative terminal back on the battery. Push it down, snug it up. And once that's snugged up, make sure that this is back on the stud that it came off of.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.